Territorial instincts. Deep down, every human has a tiny guard dog living in their brain, and it freaks out anytime someone parks too close. That's our ancient territorial instinct, the urge to mark, claim, and defend what's ours, whether it's a cave, a cubicle, or the last open treadmill at the gym. Back in prehistory, this reflex made perfect sense. Territory meant survival. The patch of land you protected held food, water, and shelter. Losing it could mean death. So evolution rewarded people who stood their ground, even if the cost was high. The instinct worked beautifully when the stakes were mammoths, not mailboxes. Now, that same wiring starts wars over parking spots, office chairs, and imaginary lines on maps. We guard our spaces online, too. From fandom turf wars to comment section crusades, and even once we've claimed our ground, we keep chasing the next thing that'll make us happy. Happiness wears off. You finally get the dream job, the new phone, or that shiny car you've always wanted since you were a kid, and a few weeks later, it all just feels so normal. That's your brain resetting its happiness meter. Psychologists call it hedonic adaptation, the reason joy fades faster than your phone battery. Evolution built this feature on purpose. Our ancestors couldn't afford to stay blissed out after one good hunt. They had to move on, find more food, and watch for predators. If pleasure lasted forever, someone dancing with joy over yesterday's berries wouldn't notice today's tiger lurking behind them. Adaptation kept us alert, not content. But now, it backfires. We keep chasing the next upgrade, the next trip, the next, "This will finally make me happy." Studies even show lottery winners return to their old happiness levels within a year. The thrill fades, the baseline resets, and we start hunting again. This time in the mall instead of the wild. Chasing the next dopamine hit makes living in the moment sound tempting, especially when it's designed by evolution. YOLO syndrome. We've all said, "I'll start tomorrow," and say the exact same thing the next day. That's your ancient brain doing temporal discounting, valuing a quick hit of pleasure today over bigger payoffs later. It's why we pick dessert over diets, impulse buys over retirement funds, and one more episode over 8 hours of sleep. For our ancestors, this made total sense. The future was a wild card. You could save food for later, and then a hyena might eat both you and the leftovers. Taking the reward now was the safer bet. That instinct worked great in an unpredictable world where later wasn't guaranteed. But today, that same wiring turns into a self-sabotage machine. We trade long-term gains for short-term comfort. Economists even have data. People regularly pick $50 now instead of $100 a year later. Evolution built us for surviving the moment, not for planning retirement funds. And finally, when survival meets self-promotion, it all ends on the modern stage of morality. Virtue signaling. If morality had a runway, virtue signaling would be the fashion show. It's the act of flaunting your values for an audience, posting the right hashtags, sharing the right outrage, or delivering heartfelt speeches, all from the comfort of the couch. In ancient tribes, showing moral loyalty actually mattered. Publicly condemning cheaters or praising generosity signaled you were trustworthy, someone worth cooperating with. Virtue signaling was social glue. Now, the same instinct has gone digital. We don't shout across the campfire. We post on social media. But the problem is that saying "I care" has become easier than showing it. Anyone can rack up moral points with a few keystrokes. It feels righteous, costs nothing, and sometimes helps no one. Still, it's not all bad. Public stances can spark awareness or inspire action. But let's be honest, sometimes it's less about saving the world and more about curating our feed. If you like this video and want to learn more about useless things evolution left behind, check out these other videos.